from killing 12,000 people in 5 days to being covered up as a flu outbreak. This is the story the British government hoped you'd never piece together. December 5th, 1952. Millions of coal fires lit across London, just like every other morning. Smoke rose from chimneys across the city. Nobody worried. London had always had fog. This time, the fog didn't move. A high-pressure system had parked itself directly above the city, like an invisible ceiling. Every particle of smoke that rose came straight back down. No wind, no escape. The city was sealing itself inside its own exhaust. By midday, London had vanished. Cars were abandoned mid-road. Bus drivers stepped out holding lanterns, walking ahead of their own vehicles through nothing. People pressed their palms flat against walls just to know where they were. The streets were full of people and completely silent. Then the air changed. It stopped feeling like fog. It turned thick, greasy, yellow. Every breath carried a metallic burn. Eyes stung, throats tightened, lungs began pulling in something that wasn't quite air anymore. At a livestock show near the city, prize cattle began collapsing in their pens. One died outright. 12 more were so critically ill they had to be slaughtered. 60 needed emergency veterinary treatment. Strong, well-fed competition animals, destroyed within hours of arrival. If it could do that to them, in hours. What was it doing inside human lungs? Hospitals answered fast. Corridors became wards overnight. Patients lay on floors. Nurses pressed wet cloths to their own faces just to breathe while treating others. Ambulances crawled through streets they couldn't see. By day 2, the death rate had doubled. By day 3, it tripled. Police began breaking into homes after neighbors reported silence. No movement, no sound from inside. They found people in chairs, still, as if they'd simply stopped. No struggle, no warning, just quiet. And the most terrifying part? The city was doing this to itself. Every coal fire burning for warmth fed it. Every power station on the Thames fed it. Every factory that kept running fed it. London wasn't under attack. It was suffocating on its own exhaust and couldn't stop, because stopping meant freezing. Then, on day 5, wind came in from the sea. The ceiling cracked, the smog thinned. London reappeared under a pale grey sky. But what emerged wasn't relief. It was the count. The government's first official report blamed the deaths on influenza. A preliminary finding, never finalized, that quietly absorbed thousands of deaths into flu statistics. Meanwhile, Winston Churchill, Prime Minister at the time, never commented publicly on the disaster. Not once. The real figure, confirmed by researchers decades later. Not 4,000 dead. 12,000. 3 times what was initially admitted, hidden in plain sight. And the Clean Air Act that should have prevented it didn't pass until 1956, 4 years after the bodies had already been counted, undercounted, and quietly filed away. You don't need a war to lose a city. Sometimes all it takes is the smoke from your own fire. And a government that decides the number doesn't need to be accurate.